Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm your host, Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how to deal with Google updates. Neil, I know you've dealt with this a couple of times. What are your thoughts?
I don't deal with them. And that's the crazy part. Everyone worries and stresses about updates. And don't get me wrong, I've been penalized before and then you have to deal with them. But the key is don't stress about them. Whatever happens, happens. If you follow the rules, you don't buy links, you don't spam, you create content that benefits the users. There's just some things that are out of your control. Google can decide to do whatever they want. And you know what? They try to do what's best for the user. So if you stick to creating a website, a product, a service that's best for the user, sure, in the short run, you may not rank the best, but in the long run, you should outperform. So the first thing that I want to cover is don't worry about specific updates. The second thing that I want to cover is dealing with the updates if you have a negative traffic drop. So there's a site called Mozcast. Mozcast talks about each update, and they talk about if there's an update going on right now, and it's like a weather system, but for Google updates, right? And the higher the temperature, the higher chance that Google's doing something. So that's one, so you know if an update's happening. Two, Moz also has a list of every single algorithm change and the specific date. So then if you have a traffic drop, you want to go look at their algo list changes, that one pager that just breaks them all down. And within there, go see if you can see a trend. So, on this date, an algo change happened, and within a few days or a week, my traffic just tanked, or it went up. But usually it's tanked. If it goes up, you don't do anything. If it tanks, then you know that, hey, I got hit by this update. If it's Panda, that means it's content related. If it's Penguin, that means it's link related. So that's how you want to analyze the algo trends, because that'll tell you what you need to fix. And nowadays, once they start rolling out updates, eventually they become real time. So Penguin, which is a link related update, is real time. Panda, again, is real time. So if you just if you see a traffic drop all of a sudden, well, some of these algos are old and you won't be able to go onto the algo sheet that Moz has and see, on this date I got penalized and that's when the algorithm change happened. But you can do an analysis of your site and be like, did we buy links? Well, okay, if we did, what's wrong? I don't know if we bought links. Well, you can go to Ahrefs, put in your URL, and see if you have any bad links coming to you. Moz also breaks down which links are spammy through Open Site Explorer, and I believe Majestic does something similar as well. As for content quality, read it yourself. Go look to see if your content's low in quality or high in quality. Ask some other people. Look at your Google Analytics, see if your bounce rate's extremely high and if your time on site is extremely low. That'll give you rough ideas of what you need to fix, where, and why.
Yeah, I think the big thing is the people that worry a lot, and yeah, don't get me wrong, organic traffic from Google is really important, but you want to make sure if you have a complete holistic strategy, if you have that, you're able to diversify. And I'll give you an example right here. Our traffic at Single Grain, there was a Google update that happened and we didn't really do anything. We're like, nothing happened. We don't buy links. We just create a lot of content. We're just trying to create more and more. And for whatever reason, our traffic dropped, and I was talking to Neil about it. But then at the same time, I knew that I had traffic coming from other sources, right? We have podcasts, we have just other areas, other websites as well, and then also social channels too. So for us, it sucks, but looked at it and we're like, okay, we're just gonna keep going, business as usual. And we look at it, traffic from last week. Our traffic has started to go back to the where it was before, so it's starting to trend upwards again. And yeah, we don't worry about it too much. I think I've been a part of companies in the past that are rely entirely on organic traffic, and if something bad happens, literally their business evaporates overnight. So you want to make sure you have you have other leverage points, that you don't have all your eggs in one basket, because if you do that, your organic traffic tanks while your business can be gone overnight.
If you also see a drop in your traffic, it may not be from an algorithm update. I was chatting with Eric a few months ago, and this is right after he rolled out a redesign. He's like, dude, my traffic dropped. What's wrong? And he quickly knew that it wasn't an algorithm update, but not everyone's as good of a marketer as Eric. So don't just assume that a traffic drop means an algorithm problem or your penalization. What he quickly realized is when his designer did the redesign, they shifted around some of the internal links and they removed a widget that was called related posts. So that caused him to not have as many internal links to other pages. Once he added it back, within a few days, his traffic went back to normal. And that's really important. Just because you got a drop in search traffic, it doesn't mean that it's due to the search engine, right? It could be something that you did. So make sure anytime you see a drop, talk to your engineering team, your design team, or if you don't have one, just look at yourself and go back. All right, what changes did I make recently? Not just the day that your traffic dropped, even a week or two before that. The reason being is it takes search engines, it could take them a week, 2 weeks before they recrawl your site. So a change that you made 2 weeks ago could finally get indexed today, and then you start seeing the traffic drop tomorrow. For that reason, you need to be careful on what changes you roll back, but usually within a few weeks of the traffic drop, it could be some of the changes that you made then that are causing the drop. And if that's the case, then what we do is we undo them one by one and see if the traffic goes up. And as you make each change, you go into your Google Search Console or Webmaster Tools, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. They just renamed it a long time ago. But go into there, put in your URL, and tell Google to crawl your site, because you can do a manual crawl request in which Google will go through your whole site and crawl all the pages and index them all over again. So if you make a change and within a few days you see your traffic bounce back, cool, it was that. If you don't, that means you need to revert back and remove another change that you made and then do the same process over again with Google Search Console.
Yeah, and that's great, and that brings something to, I guess, the whole process that Neil's talking about right now. You want to make sure you have this type of process at least documented, or if you don't have this and you want to kind of look at somebody else's template, I mean, you can just literally Google traffic update checklist, right? What to do if your traffic drops, right? There should be checklists out there. I've seen a couple, if you just do a search for it, you're going to have a basically, okay, here's what you need to do when it happens. I think having that checklist in front of you, taking it to your developers, whoever it is exactly, to execute on that, it's really important because it's just simple to do. Neil, anything else to close it off with or to add before we close it off?
That's pretty much it for mine. I don't have much more. The last key thing that I want you guys to understand is search engines, social media sites, they all have their updates. You can't stress about them, and the reason being is you can't control them. As Eric mentioned, diversify your traffic sources and don't just rely on one.
All right, and that's it for this episode of Marketing School. We're always curious to hear your feedback. Also, give us other topic ideas if you have them. We're always happy to listen. See you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.